final episode of season 1 of the last fairy tale, Changeling the Dreaming Chronicle. This will be our last adventure set in medieval Wales. And after last game, all the characters, plus a couple guest stars, were able to take Princes Daphne and Maelcar safely through the dreaming. Maelcar decided to remain, underwent a sort of death and rebirth. His new name is Maelsh. So, that won't have consequences later down the line. But for right now, our heroes are returning in triumph in the company of Prince Daphne, who has a star sapphire in his possession that was given to him by these dream entities as a symbol of his right to rule.
So.
Yeah. I assume the first thing that you guys are going to want to do is return to Titania and Oberon and debrief them.
Right to the throne room with David on just pushing him out in front of me with a proud look on my face.
Okay. David, for his part, looks a little proud of himself, a little confused, a little scared. He's obviously got a lot of emotions about what just happened. So you get to the throne room, and Oberon is sitting on his throne and just brooding, while Titania is sort of pacing back and forth, and she's consistently looking out the window. And so you walk in, and of course, all of their attention is immediately on your group. And you can sort of see Titania's face fall a little bit, and she sees that Maelcar is not with you. Oberon looks a little pleased.
I give her a wink and a thumbs up.
Okay. Oberon says, well, how did it go?
Think it went well. We've got
I can see
David
that.
with the right to rule.
Good. What happened to Maelcar? Is he dead?
Of in a manner of speaking.
Gasps in horror.
He got stabbed, but then he became a spirit of some kind.
He's ascended to a higher power. We'll see him again eventually.
I fear that.
Titania says, tell me everything. And so we don't have to go through a whole recap. And because Tori isn't here right now, I'm just going to fiat that they go off. And so Primrose can give her the detailed blow by blow.
All right.
So unless there's anything important that any of you want to convey to Titania.
Not particularly.
Okay. So, same from you. Oberon asks sort of what happened. He is very pleased that his son was able to prove himself. And issues orders that preparations for the seining may begin. So, like, actual preparations, like it's time to bake the honey cakes.
Yep. Now that the one problem is out of the picture, we can actually start to celebrate.
Yes, he does ask you to see to the prisoners still in the dungeon.
Yep. So it's time to return their friend to them, yeah?
Yes.
That'll go great. Can't see anything bad happening there. I'll walk down with him. Just
I definitely have
to
see this one.
Not really coercing or pushing him necessarily.
Okay. So you enter into the courtyard and Kadok, the blacksmith, comes up to you. and he says, uh, my, I'm still waiting on direction for what I should make for the prince.
I think it's only
And
right you make a sword.
Oh,
The problem's
uh,
gone. For
all
the
right
now,
then.
at least.
Save a piece and make an iron star.
Oh. Oh. I can do that.
It should look like that sapphire thing that got brought back.
Yes. Yes. He deserves a crown. I will get right on that.
Brilliant.
And so he scurries off.
Oh no, we're going to bury it. I guess he didn't hear me. Oh well.
Well.
And so, I'm sorry?
Yeah, I'm just gonna walk. I'm gonna walk the young priest down to the cellar, the dungeon, really, and bring him to his friends.
Okay, so as you're walking, you get sort of to the door, and he stops a little bit. Like,
all right?
I've been through. I don't know what I've been through. I don't know how I can reconcile what I saw and experienced. And yet it happened, and I cannot say that it was evil.
What do you mean by that? Equal?
Evil.
Evil. Oh.
It was obviously
not evil.
I'm sorry?
Panda just said not evil, not equal evil.
Yes. I do not know that it was godly. I am certain it was not of the devil. And so I do not know what to make of what I saw.
There are other things than your god and devil. The world's not a binary.
I don't know what you people are talking about. I'm a very good Christian.
He sort of pats you on the head. He says, effort is all that is required.
Maybe you can convince your friends to not see things so black and white.
I second that.
I can try, but I cannot hope to share with them the experience that I've been through. And I don't know that not going through this, nothing short of what you made me do would have convinced me otherwise.
Alright. Well, how about this? You can always separate from them. Start teaching your own thing.
Well, isn't it true that plenty of people don't experience the light of the divine? And you seem able to convey that all right.
You make a good point.
Aye, but be careful what you say, because I don't know if you noticed this, but they're fucking crazy.
He just sort of like pretends not to hear that. Says, well, if it was not a falling angel, what was it we saw that night?
It could be anything.
A sign of change.
What was that?
A sign of
Did you not know that a star would hang in the sky when something changed? Surely your learned church knows of such things.
Oh, certainly. A star heralded the birth of our Savior, but that was a star coming into the sky, not falling out of it.
Well, an angel would be far too powerful to be knocked from the sky. So clearly it mustn't have been that.
I had not thought of that. You have the makings of a good theologian. It's a shame you're a woman.
That's what everyone keeps telling me, but I keep telling them I'm not. The real problem is that I'm a cat.
Yeah, I'm going to just drink my concoction and just pretend I didn't hear that.
And again, like, he's really developing this skill of not really processing things he doesn't want to hear.
Meow.
As he will say, the woman who lived in the woods.
What about this woman that lived in the woods?
What is she? What does she do?
Euron, do you have any idea what this person's talking about?
Aye. She's a local healer. She also... This is just between you and me. Don't tell your friends this, because I think you know how they'll react. She can also sometimes tell the future.
She's been blessed by the Almighty God. She doesn't know the means by which she has her gifts, but they are inborn within a pure heart. She has always worked to serve the local people. She waits with the mothers as they cross the threshold to bring their new babes to the world. She sits with the grieving widower as the dead pass away.
So, you're saying she has a chance of redemption?
Of course she does. Everyone does. And the grace of our Almighty God, you showed me that.
He has no idea that you're a puka, and he's just taking you at face value now. And so you see him
Didn't they all
look...
flip the fuck out when I called her a puka?
Well, they don't really know what that means,
Yeah.
context.
Yeah, they just know it is a word that means something bad, which the other two probably still believe.
Yeah.
But Piran is going through a crisis of faith right now.
It's more convenient to think that I'm a very strange 19-year-old.
Yeah, like you're a puka, but you're spouting Christian wisdom, so what's he supposed to make of that? So you see him look towards the quarters where Marged is an honored guest. And then he turns back to Mavin and says, so, if there is a chance for her to be redeemed, it would be wrong to kill her.
Aye, perhaps it's wrong to kill anyone.
I promise to attend to her and preach to her.
And so you see him think, and like he's sort of putting a couple things together. And then he turns to you and he says, would you mind coming with me to where she's being kept?
I don't see any problem with that whatsoever.
Yay. As long as you have some more concoctions to put in my goblet, I'm down. I'm in. I'll go see her.
I'm afraid I don't have much, but I'm sure they can find you something.
Whatever you got, I'll take it.
Yeah, it is not difficult to get some beer from the kitchen. But then he looks to Euron.
Yeah, I'll...
Okay. So you walk with him to the place where Margaret is being kept. And so he reaches out and tries the door, and it's locked. And so you then see him put both hands over the doorknob, and he's saying something in Latin. You don't know what. Might not even be Latin. It's a weird churchy language.
question.
Yes.
Talking about metagaming. Second question. What would I need to? What trait would I need to have to understand what these people were saying?
Academics.
I have to.
Yes. You can identify it as Latin. You cannot understand what he's saying.
I got that.
Okay. So understanding languages is a separate merit. So you need a dot of merit language Latin.
Oh, damn it.
Okay. But you know enough to understand that it's Latin, and based on the cadence, it's probably some kind of prayer.
Right.
In fact, it is a prayer because the door miraculously unlocks and
How the
swings
fuck
open.
did you do that?
The power of prayer.
Piron looks shocked, like he did not expect this to work.
Oh.
And he says, I just prayed for the Lord to make his will known, whether she was innocent or guilty. And he looks into the room at Margit, who's like playing chess with herself. Says, apologies. I don't even know what to call you, but I'm very sorry. You're free to go?
I don't think you're the one that gives that order. You're free to go.
The lock has spoken.
All right then.
So she looks up and she's like, took you long enough. I appreciate the invitation, but I'll stay for the christening.
Of course, you're welcome to.
Thank you.
Hold on. Christening. Is there going to be wine?
Yes.
I'm not taking your word for it. You over there. Is there going to be wine at this christening?
Aye.
All right, then I'm in. I'm getting. All right.
Okay, so you are walking back across the courtyard when Falagi, the crazy red-capped shaman you met in the woods, just falls into step next to Mavin.
Oh. Hello.
Hello there.
Faymore.
And so he's sort of not really paying attention to. I'm sorry?
Faymore, there's a young lady that it would be very good if you met. I think she'd be very interested in meeting you.
Why is that you say?
I think you would get along famously. She needs some entertainment and cheering up in her life.
And where is this fantastic lady you see?
Oh, Falagi would know where she is. And yes, she has her little knife out in Falagi's presence. It's very unclear whether she's going to stab him or if this is just cat, hi there.
He doesn't seem intimidated. If anything, he seems a little flattered. And so to Mevin, he says, I'd hoped we could go hunting later, you and I. And to Faymore, he says, you're talking about our Lord's bride. She shivers in yon encampment.
Well, she shivers yon encampment. Faymore could give her.
I'll put my hand on Feymore's shoulder and say, remember the last time you went hitting on royalty? You ended up getting roped into a dream quest.
Elbow my
Yet again.
trollish companion and attempt to communicate via subterfuge, I'm sabotaging this situation.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Before you even sabotage the situation, there's no situation to be sabotaged for the simple reason that I do have 4 dots in charisma. So me playing this banter, playful banter, there you go, is actually working, Miss Storyteller. Am I right? Since I have 4 dots in charisma.
Yes, which means that you will sabotage a situation for someone else.
No!
No!
It's good!
It's good!
Yes, it's good. But,
Don't worry, I'm not going to stop you from going off on your quest.
It's
I
a
won't stop
wonderful
you, but it's your
important
funeral.
quest that will never cause any problems.
Alright then, good luck, and I'll give him a pat on the back.
Well, you guys aren't going to come with me.
I've got business.
So, Faelgi then croaks out, I don't think this is meant to be an orgy.
Hey, it's
Hey, in
no
my
fun
kind
unless your friends have some.
you
Oi!
fight it out.
I'm sorry?
In my kind of business, you usually see them fight it out. But only after I've sang.
Where I'm from, there's always a saying that says, there's no fun unless your friends have some. And my friends have been with me upon this journey all this whole time. So I say, come on, Puka. Come on, Hiram. Let's go have some fun with the princess. Hey, you know what? I bet you there's going to be lots of gold, treasures, and wine. Huh? Yeah?
You can have a good time with that. I've got business to attend to. Gotta coordinate security for a giant party.
Falagi and I need to go torment a wolf.
You're on. Listen, come with me. Come with me on this journey. And I'll tell you what. I'll give you a fantastic sword that I know that you'll love. And my little catnip. Come with me. And I will give you this fancy ball of yarn.
Faemor, I'll come with you, but only to make sure you don't get yourself killed. Nothing else.
All right. Booka. You're going to come for me for your little yarn.
He's deeply distracted by that ball of yarn. It's very promising, but also on the other hand, and she has a mind to go torment the heck out of a wolf now that she's found something scarier than the wolf.
Aye, Faemor,
Yeah,
I don't think you're gonna convince her.
Faelgi puts a hand on Maven's shoulder and says, we've got plans.
Alright, have fun.
Stabbings.
And then Faelgi gives a very elaborate courtly bow to Maven and says, this way, my lady.
There is a blur of ears and scampering.
Okay, so we will get to each of you in turn. So Faemor and Euron go off into the encampment.
I'm off to watch Faemor get his fucking head chopped off.
All right. So,
Oh, not really, bro.
So what you see is an encampment from visiting nobles of House Aelia. And they are known to be an unseelie house. They are from the north, so they are pretty much Vikings.
Fun.
This is the golden age of Vikings, and this is what those guys are. And so there's mead flowing, and you see a long table where, like, it's just lunch, but they're treating it like a feast. Just having the time of their lives. Faemor, you see that in the middle of this is this huge guy. He's obviously she. So he's definitely Fae. And members of his entourage are Faye can name a blend of the two. But he's obviously the leader. He's this big, big guy. And so, I'm sorry? You're
No,
muted.
no, I'm just thinking while you're talking.
Okay. And so, you see this very nice tent, which is probably his tent because it's got nice painted canvas. The door isn't completely closed, and so you see this young woman, obviously mortal. Uh, she's doing some needlepoint, and every time the party gets like a little too loud or there's like a raucous cheer that goes up, you see her sort of like flinch and look out the door.
All right. Is Zeron right behind me?
I am right behind you.
Hello, everyone. You've missed me, but you haven't missed me yet. My name is Faerie Sungrave. How's everyone doing tonight?
And so the big guy in the middle, who's obviously the leader, who Euron recognizes as Brynjar, a satyr, they improve every party. Come, sit at our table, eat, drink, and be merry.
Aye, being merry is what I do for the days that I have been merry. So I say, everyone in this establishment, raise your glasses and toast, for today is going to be the first day of the rest of your lives because you have joy in your life because Paymore and his band of merry. Looking at Euron probably has a very disgusting.
Euron's just looking awkward and uncomfortable. He's not a very social guy.
This Famous here, all right, to life, to.
I'll just give a little wave to the party.
Wonderful wisdom from a satyr. And your troll friend, you are welcome too.
All right.
Like someone pushes a mug of mead into your hands.
I'll just hold it awkwardly.
Okay.
Just now there's a thing in my hand. Looks like that thing of Shaq holding like the can of Coke. It's just way too little.
So I look. Let me see what my perception is. Hold on. My perception is 2. So I'm looking around. The. It's a tavern. It's a castle. The structure. Tell me the structure.
Oh, it's an open air encampment. So
okay.
These people obviously came here for the seining. So there's a lot of tents. It's basically the Ren Fair.
Got it. So I'm looking around and I'm trying to look at the most interesting location where I can find this prince. It's a princess, not a queen.
Rob switched places. Love that.
Oh yeah, it looks like Panda.
No, she's back.
Yeah, no, you guys just switched places, so I'm just fixed. Okay, brilliant.
Freaky Friday. But it's a princess, right?
Yeah, so you're pretty sure that the woman you saw doing needlepoint by herself in the tent, that's probably the woman that they were speaking of.
So do I notice where she is from where I'm standing right now?
From right now, no, but you would have seen her if she had left the tent, and she has not. Okay,
so I walk into the tent. Come on, Euron, because I have assumed the Puka is still like wandering off dilly-dally. So, come on, Euron, let's go find this bewitching woman that they speak of.
Are there like sparring matches or wrestling matches going on somewhere here?
You can definitely start one as a distraction.
All right, I'm gonna challenge.
So bad, Euron.
I'm gonna challenge anybody who wants to a friendly sparring match, swords and armor, non-lethal, no real damage to one another, just a sparring match.
Damn you, Euron! You know that I like it when you get into battle. It's gonna distract me from going into the tent. Damn you!
No,
go into the tent. I just want to kick some ass.
It occurs to you that this is a really good distraction for you to sneak into the tent. so no one will notice you. And Brynjar is totally down to spar you.
Brilliant, let's do it.
Are you ready to
With my
rumble?
insane dice pool.
I mean, his is pretty good too.
Yeah, but mine's 11, because I have a specialty in sword.
Mine's 11. Good joke.
5
Alright.
melee, 5 strength, plus sword.
Okay, let's just have this do one contested roll.
Uh-oh.
Alright,
It's a
not a
battle.
great roll, but not terrible. 5 successes.
Ooh, the storyteller has 6 straight.
Oh.
Oh. I don't like that. Oh, that oh don't sound good.
I mean, it's good when the storyteller goes, oh. Yeah, so he almost botched, but there was a 10 that exploded into a success.
Alright.
Oh.
So do I just go into this camp and, like, duel the boss and humiliate him?
Yeah.
That's a bad way to make an first impression.
So he starts out by underestimating you. And you manage to quickly get the upper hand.
People think I'm slow. I'm not slow.
You almost make him look like just a chump in front of his own people, but at the last second, he manages to rally. And even though he loses, he puts up something of a fight, so he doesn't look like a total idiot.
I'll give him a handshake and a pat on the back. You did good. Remember,
Yeah.
next time, I'm not slow, despite my size.
He pats you on the back as well, and he's, of course.
I know
This
who's
was-
next.
So a couple people look a little nervous to duel you because their boss just lost, but then they're like, oh, I should probably go lose too so he doesn't look totally silly.
All right.
So you are treated to a series of combatants who some of them are obviously quite good.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell that all of them are trying to throw the match.
You don't need to try to throw the match. I'll beat you anyways.
Okay, so while you are fighting and everyone is like cheering you on and drinking and taking bets, Feymore, you walk into the tent where there is this very meek, very slight woman doing needlepoint, and so you enter and she looks up with a stare like, oh,
I did not hear what you said. You just froze.
Oh, I'm sorry. So she looks up and like with a start, she's like, "Oh, I don't hello?"
Hello, young there. What are you doing there? Is that needlepoint?
Oh, just a little bit of practice. Are you supposed to be here?
My lady, I'm supposed to be everywhere and anywhere. My name is Faymore. I think you would love to come with me and leave that needlepoint where it is. For I have what you need and what you thought you never needed.
Oh,
You're on. I'm so sorry, Harry. Harry's like, oh my god.
It's all right. I'm just hoping that the king doesn't decide to come and check in on his bride to be.
You've got your attention locked up for a good half hour.
Brilliant.
And so she says, "Oh, I don't think I should leave."
My dear, listen, come with me. I shall show you much excitement. I shall show you the world. We shall travel together. We shall do things. And I'm telling you now, you're sitting here just doing needlepoint. Instead, you can be seeing the world.
What did you say?
Instead of doing needlepoint, we could be seeing the world. and I extend my hand to her.
So she
4 dots in charisma.
so she puts her hands on her lap and says, but you can see in her eyes like she really wants to take you up on this. Oh, I I couldn't. I'm sorry, but if it was
Wait,
just
wait,
me.
don't say another word. There is never I couldn't. Come with me, just for a moment, just for a fleeting moment, and enjoy yourself. And I shall bring you right back here down to your needle point, and you can continue your day as normal. But let me help you put a memory in your head that will last and be memories for the ends and annals of time.
Oh, well,
Handing my hand again,
if if you'll bring me back,
looking deep in her eyes while she's saying this.
I've got a family to think of, but okay.
Grab her hand. Because I'm strong, because I am a sailor, I put her onto my back, and I'm carrying her piggyback style.
Okay.
And I look back at her and say, "Fair, worry not, for you do not have to put your feet to despair, for I am strong enough to carry us both there."
Okay. Uh so skipping over whatever the two of them might get up to.
Oh, I just walk out of the tent to go meet
Okay.
Euron, because I gotta see Euron's face.
Uh so you get to the entrance of the tent and she says, "What are you doing? We can't go that way."
Then I said, "Ah, of course, of course. Let's go out the back way." But before I do that, I must send one of my compatriots a signal. And what I do is I stick my hand, I go into my pouch, and I get one of the pieces of bread that we got
Mhm.
from the tavern that only Euron would actually know what that is. And I throw it out of the opening of the tent to throw into the middle of the square battle where the ring, there you go, where Euron is battling, so he could understand that I am trying to get his attention. And while that is happening, I take the princess and say, "Off we go, back onto my shoulders, and go out the back of the tent."
Yeah, so you pretty much lift up one of the canvas uh, sectionals, and she says, "Oh, good. If my fiance saw us, that would be bad for both of us."
Oh, trust me, I have the cunning of a fox and the strength of of half an ogre. But my dear, I will always keep you safe. And hey, to be honest, I have an ogre also. Come on, let's go.
All right. She'll go with you. You're on. At some point, you look up, and there's a little piece of fairy bread lying in the dirt in front of the tent.
All right.
Uh,
That's all he says.
so, yeah, as you spend time with this very mortal woman, uh, her name is Goodla, and she is 100% mortal. She agreed to marry Brynjar, uh, pretty much so he would not sack her village.
Oh.
All right, one more time, say that last part.
So she agreed to marry Brynjar so he would not sack her village. So she's framing it as like it's a marital alliance, it benefits both people. But reading between the lines, it's like, oh, okay, this is how
Oh,
it be.
this is how it be.
Yeah.
Damn, storyteller, you just want to say gangster on us right now. All right, I feel that. Okay, so
Sorry, it's been on Twitter a whole bunch.
nah, it's all good. Okay, okay, all right. so with I have two dots of perception. Could I notice that she is somewhat in despair on like despair on her face?
Yes.
Okay, so I can tell that. All right. Um, right now, has you said that Euron has noticed the fairy bread? Is Euron already making his way towards me at this present moment, or is he still hasn't made a move yet?
I think Euron is assuming that you're going to be doing the satyr thing with this woman, and I'm assuming he's polite enough to not want to interrupt that.
Yeah.
The,
I'm gonna keep them
satyr
distracted so
thing?
nobody goes into that tent and cuts your head off.
Hello, time out. The satyr thing?
Yes.
Getting jiggy.
What do you mean the?
So satyrs are very much into like the physical pleasures of the world. They're pretty
Oh,
much sex, drugs, and rock
oh,
and roll.
oh.
And
Well, I wasn't intending on it, but
Well, I suspect you poor thing, you got typecast, stereotyped. We saw you, we treated you like a means to an end.
pretty
exactly.
much.
But yet again, I look at the person. Oh, okay. Oh, then we go on there. I look at the princess and say, "Listen, my princess. I see that you have some, some hurt in your heart. Open up for me and let me enter your heart and give you not only passion, but comfort and protection from despair. Come."
And she pretty much says one good memory is all I
Oh,
need
yeah.
to face the life that's ahead of
Well,
me.
well, my dear, I'm not going to give you one. I'm going to give you three in the next 5 years.
Okay. All right. So at this
Yeah, so
point,
he just gets
uh,
it.
Feymore and Goodlaw are having quite a lot of fun. And and Failgi are having their own particular type of fun.
Yeah. Who won now? Who's having their particular type of fun?
Cat Puka and Red Cap.
Oh, of course he is.
The fairy whose spirit of devouring and eating is off with the cat.
Gotcha.
Yes.
So,
So
hmm.
Failgi suggests that the two of you go hunting together.
Wolf hunting.
Yeah.
Yes. And so as you're sort of like skulking around the castle trying to separate, I assume you're going after Primrose's wolf?
Just another wolf out there is fine. Probably not Primrose's wolf, but I do have a grudge issue with canine things right now. Keep getting treed by them.
Okay, you can totally find some wolves outside the castle. As you're sort of making your way towards the gate, you hear a low whistle to your left. Yes.
And what is to the left?
You look over and there's Oberon trying very, very hard to be discreet.
I do look over to see what he's trying to gesture, and I give Pelagi like a tap to indicate that I'm not neglecting him. I'll be right back.
Okay, so you go walk up to Oberon, and he says, "I'll make this quick. I don't know what you did in the dreaming, and I don't want to know. Even if you told me, I don't think I'd understand. But I got the outcome I wanted, and for that I'm grateful. You and your companions may choose anything you want from my treasury, or if you prefer, I will owe you a boon.
Each.
Just you on the favor."
Hmm. Well, that That's a lot to think about.
Well, think about what you want. The treasury is yours. I have given an order.
Well, about asking for items of treasure, it would be one item of treasure each or a boon for my character, right?
So he's saying that everybody can have something from his treasury. Uh, so you can all go through the treasure rules. You get a 1 to 2 dot treasure for free. He's saying that you in particular, Maven, you can have the treasure or a favor from him.
Take the favor! Take the favor! Take the
I
favor!
think that my character, given the skullduggery involved, would probably take the favor because she's not entirely sure the trip would last, but she knows that she's going to be back again at least 8 more times, and she has a feeling she's going to see this guy again. Also, this favor is very likely to be in approximately umpteen different cycles. You see that guy who came back there covered in black feathers and death symbols? You got to go swear fealty to him.
And Queen Titania is busy offering Primrose the exact same thing. Unfortunately, she cannot make it tonight, but we'll catch her up later.
Primrose probably got, she's probably sleeping, getting her beauty rest,
It was a long day.
Yes.
Yeah, MCs. MCs is always like, oh my god, I gotta get my 27 hours of beauty rest.
Probably keeping her wolf out of the harm's way of certain rather rage-filled puka and redcaps.
AKA you.
So yes, you go wolf hunting with Faerie. He was really into it. I assume you enjoy it.
Much stabbing, savagery, mess, people getting bitten, people getting stabbed, possibly a little bit of friendly fire and battle.
I mean, Faerie doesn't mind.
Yeah, it's pretty much how you'd imagine a cat to behave, Sundari style.
Okay, so as everybody returns from their stress relieving activity of choice, you see that in the castle courtyard, because no one thought to bring her on this one.
I'm sorry, but just I love how you said coming back from the stress relieving activity of choice.
You guys have been through a lot. You deserve a break.
Oh well, Steve's gonna take his break. You may continue. But so basically that's how you're on gets rid of stress is beating on people.
Nothing like a friendly duel to, get your tension
Beat up
out.
an entire camp of Vikings.
Yep.
A Welshman beat up an entire camp of Vikings.
I don't judge.
A big Welshman.
Hey, you're on looks like a future bully to me, but okay, I just said.
Nothing but a little friendly competition.
I mean,
I hear that.
He's only fighting the people who step into the circle with him, so it's pretty consensual.
That's true. Very true. Good job, Euron.
Generally speaking, Euron does try his best to avoid combat when necessary, but, this isn't real combat. It's just sparring.
Yeah.
Good practice.
So you come into the courtyard and you see that somehow Elowin and Jory...
Only mild concussions.
I'm sorry?
Said a mild concussion.
Unfortunately not. They're having a very heated argument with Piran. So someone has let them out. Margaret is just sort of standing super amused in the background. It looks like Piran has been trying to persuade his friends that, he doesn't understand what's going on here, but it's probably not demonic. And, based on the word of the scullery maid, who's the truest Christian he's ever met. They can't kill Margaret if there's a chance for her redemption.
Aye, and you
And-
can't kill Margaret if I say. I'll kill you all if you try.
Okay.
No, Elon, that's
nowhere
not
near this
godly.
anyway, so...
So you say that, and Jory, like, turns to you and says, "Is that a challenge, sir?"
Mm.
You want to fight me?
Question: are we all together now, or
I could beat you with both
Yes.
hands tied behind my
Yes.
back.
This is sometime later after we've come back from our misadventures.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say you all sort of finish up your
Got it.
side activities at the same time.
So then, since I'm there, I'm like, hey, don't you talk to my friend like that. This
Fellow.
troll, your butt into the next century. Don't you dare talk to him like that. Tell him, run. I'm basically so like love drunk from having my escape princess. So I'm like I'm just a little like loopy. So yeah.
Wolf bit? I got the extra nibbly parts.
Yeah, the puka is strangely covered in blood right now.
Huh.
Yeah. I already commented on the fight where you're on, so I don't think I'm even paying attention to a bloody puka.
So Jory turns to Euron and says, "Alas, they took my sword from me when we were imprisoned. But if you wish to strike me down right now, I have no fear."
I've got no will to strike you down, but why won't you just get the message to leave her the fuck alone?
And so Jory looks around and he sort of reads the room. And then he looks at Piron and like they sort of have like a moment. And Jory says, "I believe that one was not responsible for what we saw. I am not yet satisfied that this place does not require cleansing anyway."
Can I punch him in the face?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I am going to deck this fool.
Okay,
Gonna try not to kill him. I'm gonna make a point not to kill him. But I'm gonna
Okay,
punch him.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna make you roll anyway,
No,
just
don't
in
let him
case you accidentally kill him.
Because he's going to. He's gonna get like 3 10s right now. Like no.
I think
He
that would be a
might.
box.
You're on. Please don't
8
get a
successes.
Don't get a sick roll.
Oh god.
You said how many you got?
8.
Shit, dude. Oh man,
One,
you gotta
two,
start some
three.
shit.
Bare hand.
You're on.
Yeah,
you just
and
started
it's
something, dude.
it's only 7 health levels that humans have.
So, 8
Oh.
successes, then I have to roll for every success over his defense roll?
Yes.
Okay, so what did he roll to defend?
All fails. Straight fails.
No,
Bro, if
we
you got
want
willpower, spend it.
we want him to succeed.
Please.
Okay, he got 2 successes.
Okay, thank God. So I'm not gonna kill him. I am going to
Yes.
fuck him up.
He's a bloody stump right now, dude.
Yes. He's on the floor.
Oh, he's lucky. Of all those,
I
only
guess
one
it was the
success.
will
Of
of
the 8
God.
dice, only 1 success. So he's gonna have a broken nose, but nothing worse than that.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Oh, Hosanna, I have seen the light.
I bet he's seeing
After
some
being
lights
like
right
that, he's
now.
dead rich, but-
So yeah, so you punch him. In about an hour, he's gonna have a black eye. He staggers a bit and then says, See? See how even the captain of the guard treats an unarmed man.
An unarmed dick.
Oh!
You've been causing me trouble for the past week. You come into my town.
If
Yeah.
God is in you, defend for your faith. Surely if you fight back, you will win with the power of God behind
I don't listen to
you.
her. You listen to me.
I say to the guy who's complaining.
You came into my town.
Fight him!
Causing
Fight him!
Right?
You're
Riling
correct
up the
in your
people.
faith in God.
Harassing old women. Causing all sorts of trouble. And
So,
now you have the gall. You're lucky I didn't kill you.
Fight!
I should have killed you a long time ago. You're lucky I don't just kill you now.
Fight!
Now, if I were you, I'd get out of my sight before I change my mind.
Trial by combat! Trial by combat! Trial by combat!
and so, Jory turns to the very noisy Puka and
That's way
says,
to decide things.
I dare not without a sword.
You want a sword? I can get you a sword.
I prefer my own returned to me.
Alright. And I'll make a gesture to just a guard to go get it.
Okay. He sort of interprets that as to return all their belongings.
Sure. That's fine.
Yeah.
Anything that
So-
gets them out of my hair faster.
Okay.
I'm gonna poke the priest.
Damn,
that we
you're
should
hardcore,
pray about
dude.
this.
I'm sorry, you said what?
I'm gonna poke the priest that we should pray about this to make sure the outcome is godly and just.
He will happily pray with you.
Yeah, they're gonna
That
fucking
gives this
need it.
legitimacy.
Look, Rob, you've missed this, but these guys have been giving me trouble the entire series. I have just been
Dude.
waiting for an excuse to ice this jackass.
Dude, let's fuck them up, man. Hello, do you realize because of my beautiful skill called physical prowess, I cannot bot athletics. I'm hoof kicking bitches in the face all day long, dude.
Hell yeah.
Come on, let's do this. And Puga's just gonna like come out and like stab people like South Compton.
I think it's just a trial by combat between me and him, though.
Oh,
Yeah, so
Oh,
I mean,
listen.
this is a question.
listen.
Are you just gonna fight him? Are you gonna let them go, or
My goal is
have you
not to
decided?
kill him. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give him a sword and I'm gonna give him a shot. But my goal is I'm gonna try to disarm him and, get my sword right in his face and tell him to fuck off.
My question is, the trial by combat, is it honorable or not?
I mean, pretty honorable. We're gonna not, as honorable as trial by combat
I
can be
stumbled on that
between a
answer.
troll and a human.
Who may have some tricks up his sleeve. I think the
Yeah.
goal is to try to indicate that they should not only leave, but not come back with a bunch of angry priests, and possibly listen to our nice little pet saint that we've just enlightened.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay,
Okay.
go for it then.
Yeah, I'm not
Uh,
trying to kill
Beat
him.
'em up.
Maybe
Alright.
if he puts up too much of a fight, I'll take a hand off, but...
Priest,
Okay.
What was that, Panda?
fuck him up for Christ!
Okay. So
Yeah.
since you're not trying to kill him, and since we are running a little short on time, let's just do an opposed roll, strength plus melee.
He's in trouble.
I know he is, but he doesn't know that.
Silly man.
Oh, he got a lot of tens.
That's good for him.
Okay. You need to get more 10s, Euron.
That's
Like,
still
come
7
on.
successes, so...
Storyteller, you need to stop being so happy with your rolls.
Oh my.
Okay, that's not sounding good whatsoever. Oh my god! That's not.
I got like a lot of cascading tens. How many successes did you
7.
get? Okay. Still not quite enough.
Oh!
Alright.
So, God was with this man, but not enough.
You see, that's why I asked you if it's honorable or not, dude.
I mean,
Because if it wasn't honorable combat, this Tater would have done something during the combat. Apparently, you asked me to be honorable, so I left.
The
it.
point is to send a
You're on your own,
message,
you're
not to beat them. Were I worried that these guys could kill me, gloves would be off.
Yeah, I was just trying to trip it before he even got to you so he could fall on his face. So you said it's honorable. It is honorable.
Well, I'm sorry you couldn't trip him. Well,
yeah. Okay. So he puts up a good fight, but his frail mortal body cannot hope to stand against your troll strength.
That's not cool.
So, you have won. He's pretty bloody and bruised in the dirt. If there's anything you want to say to him,
Yeah,
I'm assuming his sword is now separate from him.
yes.
I'll go over and I'll stomp on it and break it.
Okay.
Then I'll hand him the handle part of it. Now go. Don't come back.
He sort of like mumbles something through like the blood at his mouth. And so his companion sort of helps him up. And you can see them both just sort of limp out the gate. But as you
tell the priest
leave, you sort of have this premonition that it's not over.
They want more of this.
I tell the priest that his prayers.
Okay, you have resolved the zealot problem. So
For
is
now.
there, for now?
I'll say you round them up in a big old like encampment and just set fire to them, dude.
Yeah, I mean
I'm not
they
committing
will.
a zealot holocaust. Isn't the whole point that we're trying to be better than them?
Yeah.
That's a good point. They will continue to travel and to preach and to spread their ideology.
As long as it's not in my backyard, we're good.
Okay.
Okay, all right.
That's that ceiling morality. I will keep my code, but I don't have to get off my chair.
Yup.
Puka, you're so ridiculous with the things you say. I swear, you're. I love it. Like it's so ridiculous.
All right. So, is there anything that anyone wants to get done before the seining?
I'm gonna make sure security's tight, but I'm, not worried anymore.
Yep. All known threats have been resolved.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to
want to make sure
that I promised that I was going to preach at her regularly just to give her advance warning. I didn't say what I was going to preach at her about, but I did promise.
I'm sorry, who are you pre-checking?
I'm going to tell Margot that I promised that I would preach at her regularly. I didn't say what I would preach, but she has to deal with that now.
Okay. Yes, she does.
Yes.
Faye Moore.
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to get taken care of?
I just want to make sure that I have enough wine and beverages and food there with me for me and my companions during this process.
Oh, definitely. This is a banquet.
Oh, hey. We're going to get it done. Yeah.
So, so it's a seining, it's a party, everybody's here. There's music, there's dancing, there's delicious food. And in the middle of it is a ceremony where Prince Daveth is gifted with a beautiful sword you could see set in the hilt is the star sapphire that you were given in the dreaming. And so his father, Oberod, makes a big show of presenting this sword to him. Says, yeah, and so he sort of takes the mortal perspective about, today you are a man, and this sword represents your commitment to defend the realms that owe you fealty. And then his mother gives him an iron crown made from the same metal, and it's got the same starburst pattern that you see in a star sapphire. Uh, and she takes the sort of fairy perspective of, this represents your right to rule the freehold. And Daveth takes a very complicated oath where he swears that he will be brave and he will be just and he will lead the Fae of Avalon as best he can. He swears this in this life and the next, and he swears it by the dreaming. So, this is his life now. uh, and Daveth also talks to you, talks to the Motley, even Primrose, even though she's not here right now, and says that he owes all of you a separate favor because you helped him understand what it means to be a good leader. And without your support, he would not have gotten this far. And so, if there's ever anything he can do to repay you, he wants to.
And Euron will not say a word, but will bow deeply.
Now is spring and full of love. When autumn leaves change, remember your favor, for I may call upon it.
Always.
And remember the other lesson learned in the dreaming, and what will come when winter approaches.
I will. Thank you.
My mug is empty. So now that I say this, remember, I've done this for you, you and me. I'll call on it on the time that I need it. But for right now, it's been a hell of a time. And I bow to thee.
And thank you as well. And with that, we close the curtain on season 1 of The Last Fairy Tale. Yay! Thank you all so much for playing. We are going to take a 1-week hiatus so I can get the notes together for the next adventure, which will be in Byzantium.
Oh, this is gonna be dope.
Yes, I may or may not be reading Constantinople by night.
Istanbul.
It's gonna be great.
Well, thank you all for playing. Thank you all for persisting through the gremlin issues we had.
Together for us.
Rachel, the gremlin. This campaign is so great. No amount of gremlin issues could stop me from wanting to do this.
I'm really glad. Thank you. So if we could just go around and talk a bit about ourselves and who we are and what we're up to. Let's start with Panda.
Hi, I'm Panda, and the most recent thing I want to encourage you all to do is consider coming up to Montreal in June to participate in Kane. We'll be launching Dark Ages there, although there's a sneak peek historical at Northwestern Regional event happening in April, but this is the official launch. It's the chance to try something. It's going to be a chance to get to see that game that we helped launch through the Kickstarter that happened. That's the Chapters board game, which is also going to include an introduction to Vampire LARP as prepared with the assistance of Canada at Midnight. It's going to include all the standards, and it's going to have that high-quality Canadian flair since we know how to bring a game.
Yeah, and that Kickstarter did really well, right?
It did crazy well. It smashed its goals by an enormous margin. I forget the exact amount, but it was several times over the goal by the time they finished.
Did it reach $1 million?
I think it was there about this, yes.
Yeah.
And since
Nice.
that's probably American money being given to a bunch of Canadians, it's going to go even farther where it is.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it. It looks really exciting. Harry, how about you? Tell us about all the
Yes.
stuff you're up to.
Minor reduction. I'm no longer doing the thing on Tuesdays because that show's over for now. It might come back in the it will come back in the future. You'll get to see me in a few months, maybe, hopefully. I'm doing this show Thursdays 4 to 6. I do Little Brook Reunion on twitch.tv/the Onyx Path, 4 to 6 Eastern Time, PM. It's a lot of fun. You should check it out. I also do Blood City, Chicago by Night Chronicle. That is Sundays 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm going to be live streaming this Saturday with a friend from Littlebrook, actually, from the Littlebrook stream, just doing art stuff. And then, oh yeah, new show coming soon. Not sure how much I can say about this, but it's a Mage the Ascension Chronicle set in 1890s Seattle. So,
Ooh.
all I can tell you is I'm going to be playing an anarcho-syndicalist labor organizer forces mage. And yes, my girlfriend made me a hat for it already.
Oh, that's amazing.
It's great. I'm excited for it. I'm going to grow a mustache
You're
for it.
gonna
I'm going to try.
confuse a bunch of brouhaha.
Oh, yeah.
Don't hide your face. Let's give awesome props to the girl from making
Jane,
that.
they're giving you props. Here, come more into frame. She was napping. That's her right there. She was napping.
Here, let us see the hat again.
Yes.
Go ahead.
That's really well done.
Yeah, it's great.
Best hat.
Yeah, I'm also on YouTube at SalubriCat. You can find me there. I'm currently not working on a new video, but I plan to start this weekend because it's Easter break, or March break. So yeah, that's my stuff. Oh, also,
Awesome.
I'm host of the Saratoga by Night podcast. That's the biggest thing I do. You should check that out. It's good.
Yeah, that's Hunter the Vigil.
Yes.
American Revolution.
It is. It certainly is. And oh boy, are things... Oh boy.
I believe the Kickstarter for Hunter the Vigil has wrapped up, but follow it, check it out. It's going to be really good. I know it's going to be really good because the first edition was great, so this will be even better. I'm excited. It's my favorite Chronicles of Darkness game.
It is great.
Last but not least, Rob Faerie, what you up to?
Me? All right. Well, I am me and Tori. As you know, she's the she of the game. We on March 17th, which is St. Patrick's Day, we were going to be releasing the next Zelda Fury production short, which is the She-Hulk short, which is going to be fantastic. So we'll tell everybody when it drops. Once it drops, we're going to be sharing all of that. And on top of that, personal stuff that I'm doing, I am very happy to announce that on July 10th and 11th, I will be at Geek Out at Snug Harbor for their Comic Con in Snug Harbor in Staten Island, New York. I will be the cosplay host and the cosplay contest host. And on top of that, I'm going to be moderating some celebrity Q&A panels. And on when is it? April? I'm so sorry. I literally just posted earlier this week. Earlier today. Yes. April 18th and 19th, I will be doing some press junket stuff for Anime Pasadena in Pasadena, California. So if you are around, please come by. And on top of that, I will absolutely be running an My Hero Academia panel at both of the Comic Cons that I'm going to be post at. So please come down. If you're a My Hero Academia fan and you love that anime good stuff, come on down, check it out. And lastly, I'm sorry, something that me and Tori are doing for the Build of Fury, we are actually going to be hosting a podcast and a vidcast for the Harley Quinn show that is on the DC Universe Network app. And we're actually going to be doing a companion podcast on that, and that's going to be great. And that's going to actually segue into us doing the Castle on Netflix companion
Nice.
podcast. So we're going to be doing a podcast on the Harley Quinn show on the DC Universe app and Castlevania before we actually do any of our bigger projects. So check that out. Check me out on Instagram and all social media at official Rob Fury and Tori at Victory Bell Conquest. Shazam! And we're gonna send it back. The three of us send it back to you, storyteller. Tell us what you about. What you doing?
All right, thank thank you, Rob. I am your humble storyteller. My name is Rachel. So at some point, when I manage to put these into a presentable form, you will be able to purchase this Changeling the Dreaming Chronicle from Storyteller's Vault. Also, tomorrow, I'm doing a session 0 character creation with Travis Legg. We're going to be doing a Scarred Lands show. So you can catch my personal character creation prologue tomorrow, Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. And then that will segue into a Wednesday evening show. And then Sunday, I'm recording a podcast with Midnight Express. I'm going to be talking about storytelling and talking a little bit about the work I did with Modifius. They have released a new player starter set for Vampire 5th Edition. And I was lucky enough to be able to work on that. And I got to work on the storyteller section. So I might talk a little bit about that, talk a little bit about this show. I'm excited about all of it. Yeah. Thank you all for watching, and we will see you in 2 weeks.
Alrighty, bye-bye.
Cheers.